gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Superboard Commentaries. I am your host and commentator, DruoxTheShredder. And this is the blue team. I had to turn down the graphics. There's some kind of glitch or something right now causing horrible lag at higher resolutions. So once that gets fixed, I will go back to having everything at max. But until then, gonna have to lower the stuff to record for you guys. Ra, Thor, Aphrodite, Ymir, and Honor. Should be interesting, this game. Definitely. Yeah. And on the other team, got a Poseidon, Ares, Sobek, Kali, and the final one. I don't know who the final one is. Who is it gonna be? Who is the final one in their comp gonna be? It looks like it's full teams that went in here, but these guys have a ringer, Tobias. So we'll have to hope that Tobias does well. If he decides to... What the hell? Look at the gold on the two teams. Blue team has 1,500 more gold than the red team. How the hell does that work? Nobody bought anything yet. What's going on? No one's, like, doing anything. Oh, right. It does that. Last person, where are you? What does this do? Ah, finally. Something that changes the angles. Lovely. Now all I need is something that makes the camera go through stuff. Still no fifth on the red team side. They're down by 1,500 gold. Because of that. Because when you're a person down, you don't have that, you see there, the starting gold, 1,500. When you got a man down, you don't got the gold, baby. So being a man down already puts you almost a lot behind. One part of an item behind, to be honest. So, should be interesting. I don't know where their fifth is. I don't know if he's going to be coming back. But we will soon see. PWTP not looking like a team that I personally would want to join because there seems to be some kind of scrim going on and one of their guys can't connect. Never good to be on a competitive team and not be able to connect. He could be getting DDoSed, but I sincerely doubt it because I have no idea who either of these teams are. So we will soon see what everyone's lane comps are officially going to be. It looks like Poseidon's probably mid. Wait a minute. No, you don't have to wait a minute. Still nobody coming onto that red team. Should be interesting. Maybe he'll come in before the game officially gets underway, so to say. Though I doubt it based on the look of things. So that guy, if he does come in late, he's going to be behind. Thor tanking. And since Aphrodite didn't start with her heal, he's not going to be coming out of this with a lot of HP. That's a big problem with Aphrodite, though you'd think that that little link that she's got is a heal of some kind. It's not. Her doves are the heal, which can also damage enemies, similar to Ra's heal. But, no, it's going to be solo Ares. Maybe they want to do 4v5. I don't know. I got no idea. I'm sorry, I have no idea. So Ra, gonna be up against Poseidon. Pretty common thing to see if Poseidon isn't banned. Poseidon is a very common ban at the competitive level. Unless, like, both teams really want to play as him and they just don't ban him for some reason. Aphrodite, a pretty interesting new god. She, you see that little link there? When she has that link between her and a god, she becomes their soulmate. And what that does is it gives them enhanced mana regen. So, and it's akin to her own regen. So the more regen she has, the more regen you get. So if she gets blue buff, for instance, and she has that link between you, it's like you have blue buff. Or at least that you have a mana potion going off at all times that you are connected here. Looks like Sobek and Honor and Ymir We're having a back and forth here. Sobek with the pull. Not bad. Doing his tail whip, but he missed it on the honor. And now, Ymir doing his damage to him. Honor with his 2. Very strong as a getaway and as a poke. There's still a bit of lag. I must ask that you bear with me. I'm sorry. But that's just... I don't know what's going on with this game. But it is not having a happy time right now. I feel bad for this Ares, because at this point the Cupid came in. Cupid was the 5th. He's gonna be behind by a lot. He's 3 levels behind. And this early in the game, that equates to no fun. And Ares has a lot of work ahead of him, especially if that Cupid is gonna end up trying to be aggressive. In the meantime, on the opposite side, like I always seem to see, the opposite side is doing better than the others. So if this side was getting pushed, the left side would be getting the advantage in their lane. But it looks like left side with the addition of Cupid are doing alright. I guess Cupid started with his heal. Always good to be a support for your tank. Sobek trying to go for the pull was a little too late. It happens. Looks like they have the advantage here, but Ares using his ult. Oh boy. Does he not realize that Cupid is level 2? Cupid throwing out some heals. Oh boy. Getting DOT'd. Cupid trying to body block, but Ares gets wall blocked. Ares, that was not smart. Your teammate is level 2. What's he gonna do? Ares having a bit of a brain fart there. I hope that that doesn't cost his team too much. Kali and Sobek feeding a kill to the enemy, who are level 5. Don't know what that Sobek was thinking was gonna happen. I don't know. Not feeling too good about this red team right now. Not feeling too good about them. Feeling like they're going to probably surrender. Although the game does go on for almost an hour. Maybe they get their shit together at some point. I don't know. Maybe Cupid will catch up and do okay. I know that if Cupid gets fed, he is a dangerous mofo. Looks like there's a fight over here for the buff. Oh, he got really caught. Oh, but he ults! That might even the playing field, but Ra gonna take him out. Poseidon just not quite built enough to take on Ra in a 1v1. Ra very powerful in 1v1 fights. Not only because of his heal, which he's using right now, which also does damage to enemies that are inside of it, but also his ultimate burst and his 1, which I believe they fixed the multi-procking of, but I'm still not sure if they actually fixed it. Ra going Aegis to counter the ult from Ares. Oh wow. Cupid barely making it out of there. But Thor saying, not so fast, little buddy. And there's the ult. The ult's ahead of him. Very strong play by the Thor. There was truthfully no way for that Cupid to get out. He only has 1 dash. And he didn't seem to have his stun, but his stun takes a couple seconds to go off. Poseidon heading over to left lane. Probably gonna get something started over there. Keeping an eye on the Sobek's health, because it looks like there's gonna be a fight going down, and I got a feeling Sobek will lose it. Speaking of losing a fight, Ra shows up, stops the gank from the Poseidon. That's always a good thing to do when you're mid. I understand if you're pushed that it's hard to leave your lane, but you can very quickly just damage the minions and then head out. Poseidon throwing down his ult, but not enough to stop the enemy from killing him. At the same time, Kali and Ra are taken out. Kali on the other side of the map, of course. There's another fight going down over here. Still a fight. I came here just in time to see Sobek die. I'll tell you, that honor is way strong. And this Ymir is building well. He's doing well, and he's building well. Those tank boots, they keep you alive. The regen that you get from those will keep you alive in a fight. Speaking of fights, looks like there's another fight in left lane, but Cupid dashed out. I've seen a lot of Aphrodites, but I'll tell you what, The team that doesn't have Aphrodite usually loses their lane. Aphrodite is such a strong support god. She does so well at assisting the gods that she's with that she can be no fun. However, she's very easy to counter. She isn't very tanky, so to say, and her damage isn't very high. So you can pretty much ignore her in a fight, or you can focus her and kill her. For some reason, Ares is still thinking that he can ult them, but not happening. Aphrodite ult, too strong. Her ult makes her and whoever she's linked to invincible for a very short amount of time, but a short amount of time nonetheless. And during that time, you are literally immune to all status effects and all damage. It's an Aegis that you can walk around with. Think of it as a Kale ult, but it doesn't last nearly as long. It's pretty short, even at the max level. Aphrodite still pushing the lane with her doves. What the fuck are these two doing? Oh boy. Cupid gets taken out because he's, I don't know how many levels behind at this point. He's still behind in level. And he's going in first when he has a tank. If you have a tank in your lane, you don't have to go in. Honor taking out the Sobek, and now Kali is a little stranded here. Honor gets out of her ult, but she's trying to keep herself close. What the fuck was that? Honor gets taken out by the burst of a Kali. Kali auto attacks, and her 2, I believe, is her cone of damage, but her cone of damage really hurts. It's usually what she last hits you with, and she can last hit multiple people with it because it hurts a lot. Left lane went back to go buy some nice items. Thor got some boots, and she's going the armlet of replenishment, or the bracer, if you want to call it by its proper name. The bracer is, of course, wrist armor, usually used in tandem with gloves. Or they use it instead of having a gauntlet, and it's basically the part of a gauntlet that covers your forearm and wrist. And they do that to allow more flexibility with their hands if they're using a bow, for instance. But the armlet's nice because it gives extra regen to everyone around you, so it really helps with her little link here, her soulmate thing that she's got going on. Now, you may also notice that sometimes when she uses her abilities, there's a little red thing above their heads, and what above the head of the person that she's linked to, and what that is they get increased damage on the person that she used the kiss on, which is what the thing does that links her to the person as a soulmate. Oh, nice pillar, very nice pillar, good jump. You might go for the 2 for the last hit at some point. I'm not sure there. Oh, Sobek with the very good creeping curse there, but now he's kind of stranded. He's getting stunned. He has his dash. He gets out. If he didn't have his dash, he would have taken a lot of damage back there. It would have been pretty hard for him to get away. Meanwhile, in mid lane, Poseidon trying to do his best against these two, but I mean, what are you going to do with Poseidon? What's nice is that he has the movement speed buff. Poseidon is already naturally pretty fast because of his passive, which is a charging up thing, a bonus to his movement speed and damage. And when he gets that fully put up, he has a lot of movement speed. He has another ability called Trident that allows him to run faster, and he throws out 3 auto attacks instead of 1, but only one of them hits at a time, if I remember right. But it procs 3 times for his stacks on his passive. Looks like there was a quick fight here between the Honor and Ymir, but 4 versus 2, someone might die on the blue team, and it looks like it's going to be this Honor. Honor gets taken out, Ares using his 2 to keep them taking minimal damage. Ymir gets taken out underneath the turret as well. He really had nowhere to go. Ares was body blocking him from going one way, and he was caught in the middle of Cupid's ult, which could have been placed better in hindsight, but hindsight's in 2020. A little more difficult to see when you're actually playing. In the meantime, Poseidon doing one of the things that he does best, and that's pushing. The other thing that he does best is be less useful in mid than other mids when it comes to damage and ganks, especially when he's behind. This Poseidon is pretty behind. He's going for the I don't plan on winning any fights for the most part build, which is when you buy a Talon. And what the Talon will do, that's what this bad boy is, Baroncroft's Talon. And what that will do is the lower his HP becomes, the more damage he does. Speaking of which, that Sobek using his ult there could have killed the, what's his name? Thor? But didn't. And Poseidon and Sobek are taken out in response. However, it looks like Aphrodite got taken out there. That's the squishiness of Aphrodite for you. And Cupid gets taken out after taking out Aphrodite. The help of Ares. Looks like Kali is going to jungle in the enemy's jungle for a little bit. Sneaky. Though stealing this buff isn't really that big of a deal. The other one is literally right there. But if she's... I mean, if she cleared out these two camps as well, that's actually going to be really annoying for the blue team. Losing your blue buff is pretty annoying. What the hell was this Ares thinking? Why would you go in lane when the enemy team's all up and they're grouped up like that? This is a dumb move. Are they like trying to lose so that they can make a big comeback and brag to their moms? I don't even know. But anyway, blue team going after the Gold Fury here to get their gold lead a little bit further ahead. Not sure if the red team even knows what they're doing. Maybe they just saw the Ra's abilities coming out of the sky. Blue team taking it, red team not even close to stealing that. And that's going to be a pretty much free gold. Oh! Oh! Did you see that? Oh my god! What an ult. As soon as I'm saying that they pretty much got their Gold Fury for free, fucking Poseidon comes in and absolutely trashes them with his ultimate. His cripple ability, which is his 3, his little whirlpool, that has a crippled on it. And what cripple does is keeps some of your abilities from being activated, like, for instance, your dash or stuff like that. And what's nice about that is, when you get caught in there, it pulls you towards the center of it, and that's designed so that he throws that down and throws down his ult. And the Kraken has 2 different areas of effect. If you're in the epicenter of it, you get a lot of damage done to you. If you're not, then you don't take as much damage, but it's still no fun. And everybody was in the dead fucking center of that, and holy cow, did it hurt them. And if Poseidon gets the, I forget what it's called, but there's an item that lowers people's magic resistance every single time an ability hits them. And if that happens with his cripple, his ult does stupid amounts of damage. It looks like Honor sees blood in the water, and Sobek was underestimating the size of his girth. Sobek probably wishing he was on a diet back there when he couldn't quite squeeze through the gap. Ra and Thor getting taken out almost simultaneously. Aphrodite pairing herself with the wrong guy as far as I'm concerned. He has plenty of mana. She should probably be pairing with the Honor in an attempt to give him some extra damage so we can run in an ult maybe. There it is. Throwing a heal on him as well with the doves. Uh-oh. Nope, nothing came of that, but she did land her stun, and there's another stun. Will Honor use his ult to kill him? Probably could with the damage boost, to be honest, from that much HP. Honor's ult does a lot of damage. A lot of people underestimate it. It hits you a lot of times, and all of those hits chunk you. So if he gets built, he is absolutely deadly. And especially if you're running around in this bad boy, if you're in here and Aphrodite pops the kiss on you at the same time, you're stunned in there and you're taking even more damage from him. His ult can be absolutely fatal in that scenario. Luckily, the red team did not face that scenario underneath the turret, but that is an entirely possible thing to happen, and his ult is absolutely horrifying when your HP is at half, or even if you're squishy at all. If you're even squishy, it's just I don't even like thinking about it. I don't even like thinking about Honor when I'm squishy. Alright, so the red team has 3 people on this turret. Thor goes up in the air. Ares sees it, and 3 people are on them. Thor ults in. Oh my god, just decimation everywhere. Everybody trying to dodge the Ares ult. But they didn't dodge the Sobek ult. I think that they made the better trade there. Poseidon's trying to zone them for some reason. I guess he really wants to make sure that they stay underneath the turret. Kali trying to be a little sneaky, but not happening. There might be a fight underneath this tower, folks. I'm not sure, but they're definitely poking. Poseidon trying to get them inside of his whirlpool, but he's out of mana. In the meantime, split pushing mid, you see on the map there, Honor, but maybe he's not pushing mid. He's heading over to help support his team. That's nice. Very nice of him. Because mid is going to get pushed, so him not staying there is definitely a sacrifice for the betterment of his team. There still looks like there could be a fight going on here. The blue team is moving in. They see a possibility for advantage. Sobek missing. I think he hit his pull. Throws the Aphrodite underneath the turret, but now both of the tanks are getting low. Even Ares' 2 isn't enough to keep the Sobek alive. Ares running around the turret, doing a little bit of a turret dance here, if you will. I bet you he's wishing that he had his he's wishing that he had his Aegis off cooldown because he isn't using it. And speaking of people wishing that their Aegis was off cooldown, Thor getting pulled right underneath the turret, but not enough to kill him because the turret decided not to hit him. And Aphrodite on the way out getting burst down by the Poseidon and the Cupid. But definitely looking better for the blue team right now. Blue team has a pretty clear advantage. They're 6 kills ahead. They're behind in gold. Not by much, and now they're ahead in gold. Because they killed a turret. But red team might rectify that, as you can see over here. The Kali is pushing her lane. Is Honor going to solo the Fire Giant? No, he's going to go after either a buff or he's going to go try to kill her. It looks like they're going to have a bit of a confrontation here. Kali saying, nope, I'm not fighting that. Honor going, where are you going, buddy? And he missed his stun. That's a shame. Throws down his slow. Kali ults. Not going to be hitting him with anything coming out of that. While she's spinning, she does a little bit of damage per second. It does stack up. It can kill people. So you have to be careful. You can't just stand in there even as a tank. It's not wise. So don't do that. Thor, is his ultimate off cooldown? It is. He is dangerous right now. He's going to ult and kill them. Bursting down the Poseidon with his hammer. His hammer does a set amount of damage when it hits you, and that's in one direction when he throws it, and then it'll come back to him like a boomerang. If it hits you both directions on the way back, it does double damage. So that is a great way to burst someone down from full HP to almost nothing. A common Thor combo is to ult right on top of you, throw his hammer through you, and spin so that the hammer does its full damage to you while he's spinning, and usually you die from that. Just the Thor ult itself can absolutely wreck you in this game. In the meantime, in right lane, Ymir and Honor pushing their lane like the beasts that they are. Well, one of them isn't a beast, but if he was, it would be appropriate for me to say that. Looks like the tanks and supports on the blue team are doing their job. They have no kills, but they have plenty of assists. Remember, kids, tanks and supports should not have kills. So if you're mad at your tank for having a score of 0-5, maybe you shouldn't be losing team fights. It's not his responsibility to carry you, he's a tank. That's why he's called a tank and not a carry. Sobek running away, but Thor saying, I don't think so, bro. Jumps right on top of him, dodging the damage and stunning him before the actual damage comes out. Because when he jumps up, there is actually a frame where he can be disabled, which that Thor hit him at. So you'll notice that he didn't take any damage when he landed on him. And that was because he landed on him at exactly the right time to stop his ult from doing damage, which is very impressive. I don't even think he did that on purpose, but still impressive nonetheless. You saw there that the girdle got popped. Almost everyone on the blue team is doing as much damage as possible. There's the cripple combined with the Poseidon ultimate once again, absolutely wrecking the blue team. Look at all of their HP is getting too low. Speaking of people with too low HP, Ares getting taken out there, and Cupid by the Honor that wasn't touched by that ultimate. Probably would have died if he was hit by it. Poseidon showing one of the reasons why I would not be against banning him, in the sense that he's so useless once his ult is down. Look, he's got nothing. He's got nothing. Popping a girdle for some reason. Maybe he just wanted it on cooldown afterwards. Oh, maybe you're just going for the quick kill on Thor after he died. Because your little whirlpool does stay there after you die, and that would have definitely killed the Thor. So, though Poseidon, pretty useless when his ult is down. I mean, I'm not saying that the player's bad, I'm saying that the god, when his ult is up, he's done. You know, he's gotta put a fork in him, you know, it's over. It's time to consider a new career, because you ain't carrying anymore. You aren't scary. Gotta be careful with him, though. It's pretty easy to dodge his ult, especially when he ults you like this Poseidon does. Not agreeing with his Gem of Isolation choice, I would have went with the spear that lowers people's magic protection based on every single ability that hits them at this point, because you need more damage. He's obviously not killing people, and they're too tanky for him, so if people are tanking your shit, you gotta make it more difficult for them to tank it. And if you're not gonna do that, then you're not gonna get those kills that you need. It looks like Sobek is near where these guys are, but isn't going to be interrupting them. He was right over here, but he wasn't interested in getting in the way. Speaking of getting in the way, they were looking at that Gold Fury, and then they said, not feeling it. No. But Ymir says, maybe we'll get these people in lane over here? No? Nah, that's not what he's saying. He's saying, let's go over to right lane. Kali is all alone. Let's kill her. Red team really having a hard time grouping up here. They're split all over the place, and Kali is by herself. Thor going to initiate with his ult. Oh, nice dodge by the Kali, but she can't dodge his wall. She's using her ult to stay in the fight here, but she has to heal herself up, and she's not going to heal herself up nearly fast enough. Blue team taking out the turret and the Kali. Kali getting taken out by Thor, it looked like. Poseidon using his ult on one enemy. What's the point of that? Getting lots of damage on this Ymir, but he's going to put up a wall at some point and get a... Oh, never mind. He didn't put up a wall. Poseidon killed him. And Ra getting taken out by Cupid, but Cupid getting taken out by Thor. Ares trying to get in there, might ult at some point. Sobek throwing out his ult. Everybody's ulting. I don't think I saw Ares' ult. Is he going to use it? No, he should have used it if he had it. He must have used it at some point. Yeah, there was no reason for him not to be using an ult at some point in that. Yeah, that must be how they killed Ra. He must have ulted him and then everybody just burst him. That's a shame. Miss Poseidon not being very smart with his ults, as far as I'm concerned. Yes, I understand. He killed their tank. They're gonna have a harder time fighting. But now he has no ult. The reason why you want him on your team is so that he can kill like 2 or 3 people with his burst. His ult does retarded damage. Honor wanting to get that kill, but misses almost every single shot of his ultimate, and now he's going to pay for it with his life if he doesn't run away fast enough, and he does not. Sobek taking him out with his DOT. Oh shit, Thor getting thrown in there with his ultimate, and he's going after a double kill here, but he doesn't get it. Oh, that was so close. Oh, this low Poseidon, look at him. Swag-a-lagging his way out of the lane. Swag-a-lagging, a podcast starring Phil and Lyle that has pretty irregular upload times, but still worth a watch. I suggest looking it up. It's the only thing I know of that's called Swag-a-lagging. Feel free to give them a listen anytime you feel the need. They also have a Twitch channel for it. Just Google Swag-a-lagging. I promise you will find all the information that you need. Take a look at the build since there's no fighting going on here. Ra going pretty tanky, and a Talon. Don't agree with the Talon. I don't like Talon when you're building tanky. I understand that it'll work because obviously when you're harder to kill, you're going to be running around with lower HP. But by the time you're running around with low HP, just think about it as an active thing where you're running around with low HP. Do you have your abilities off cooldown? No. You're not using your abilities to attack when you're low HP. You're using them to run away. So yes, you can be dangerous in 1v1s, obviously. But in a team fight scenario, that item is not good on Ra because Ra doesn't necessarily get focused. But if he was getting focused, I would be all for it, you know. He could let himself get focused down to about half, hit his Aegis, and then come out with his heal and just heal himself like crazy and do all the damage forever. Speaking of all the damage forever, Poseidon using his ult, Ares using his ult takes out the Honor with all that burst. That's what I'm talking about, baby. I'm seeing some ults everywhere. Thor trying to go after a kill using his ult, but Kali going not today, potato, and doing lots of damage. Thor using his stun to buy himself some time to get away. Aphrodite getting taken out by the Ares. Ares still pushing forward, giving people damage and giving people resistances on his team, of course. Now the damage, of course, coming from his mark. His mark of protection allows him to do damage over time and is very effective. He just got stunned because he just pulled a stupid. And because he pulled a stupid, he got killed. Why would you go back in the jungle? It's obvious that the enemies are there. You should be running towards your team. He could have doubled back and gotten past the Ra. Maybe. But his team either should have intercepted them or he should have ran away from the jungle because that's where the enemy was. And his team was not close enough to him for him to go into the jungle. That was not a good decision. You gotta be more aware of your surroundings. When you're running away, you should be looking at the map. You shouldn't even be looking at your character at that point. You just want to get away. So why would you be looking at what you're doing in the immediate area? That's dumb. Somebody just bought a Soul Eater and I have a theory as to who that was. Yep, it's the Honor. Soul Eater gives you extra HP, attack speed, and lifesteal. What doesn't it give you? Nothing. That's really all you need as an AD carry. HP, lifesteal, and attack speed. Not to mention some damage. "10 physical power and lifesteal in an aura. So when everyone's near you, they do more physical damage. Just a great item. Gives everyone some lifesteal, everyone some attack power, everybody wins. It helps with pushing lanes. It helps with keeping you alive. It's a happy day when you buy a Soul Eater. It's very similar to a Vlad's from Dota 2. Or what was that old item that they changed like a million times? I forget what it was called. But there was an item in League of Legends that did a similar thing, but I think that they took that item out. Unless it's just that no one uses it. Ares missing his chain somehow. That was odd. Chain just kind of grazing against the enemy there. Gold Fury getting taken out by the red team. 4v1, you're gonna probably die. Speaking of people that are trying to fight way too many enemies, Ares almost getting pincered there, but it didn't quite happen. Thor waiting for an opportunity to ult in, definitely. Kali ran right by him. I think that Thor thinks that she doesn't know he's there, and I think that Thor is right in his assumption. Ymir deciding that he's going to try to buy Thor some time. Thor's thinking, maybe I don't want to go back. We might see him ult. No, he's not gonna ult. Ra fighting. There's the ult. Thor ult. This could be huge. The red team is pretty close together, but he waited a little bit too long. Didn't get the big ult. That could have been huge if he ulted in there. Then Ra could have turned that right around and probably killed them with one ult, because they'd all be sitting ducks when they're that close together. Forget it. Killing the creeps like any good team would do. Gotta make sure that your lanes aren't getting pushed. It's always a good idea. Blue team, in spite of their deficit when it comes to nothing, they're doing very well with keeping their turrets alive. Same with the red team. Red team have been behind pretty far through this entire match. You know, I was gonna say deficit in gold, but really it's not a big deal. They are only down by 2,000 gold, so I ain't worried about that. Oh boy. Oh, that was a very dead Ra. Yeah, but now the red team can't fight. Now the red team has to back. Now the red team should be split pushing. Looks like Cupid might be going down the right lane. Poseidon going after the damage buff. Yep, there's Cupid going to right lane like a good teammate would do. Aphrodite trying to heal Honor, but Honor says, I don't need it, babe. Thanks for trying, though. I appreciate you. Honor double checking that the enemy isn't going after their fire giant. Why would he put the... Look at this ward placement. This is retarded. Now, if they put a fucking ward anywhere out here, they're gonna see that. They're gonna see a shitty ward. You want a ward, you put it on this inside wall, like in here. They won't even... Like, you get tunnel vision when you get in here. You don't look at those walls. That's usually where you can keep a ward the longest. It's very unlikely that it gets attacked unless they are literally looking for wards inside of the buff area. They tend to only keep a ward right outside of the entrance, and where he placed his ward, it looks like the enemy will see it, so... Not agreeing with your ward placement, bud. Sorry. Sorry, bud. Look at this. Look at this red ward. Look at it. It's just sitting here like, hey, I'm a potato. Put me in a deep fat fryer after cutting me up, and I'll be your french fries. Looks like the red team is thinking fire giant? Maybe not. No, they're not thinking fire giant. Kali is thinking I need to defend this lane. Kali going after a movement speed buff. Kali is a jungler. Always wise to grab buffs with her. She needs it to stay in the game, most definitely. The red team looks like they are ahead in levels when it comes to total levels, but they are certainly not ahead when it comes to kills. And really, that's more down to just they aren't team fighting really well. They're stopping the blue team, but they're not stomping the blue team. Because for some reason, all of the big ults that they're using, they aren't using them to hit as many enemies as possible. They aren't being efficient with them. They're kind of wasting them, in my opinion. They could be killing a lot more enemies if they were using them a lot more efficiently, especially this Poseidon, who I even saw use his ult on just the fucking tank, which is worthless. Speaking of worthless, Cupid pushing against Honor. He should really be more careful because he's probably going to die. 3 people in mid against 4 on the blue team. Blue team going to go in on this probably. There it is. That could be the initiation that they needed. Ah, Ymir missed his stun, but Thor didn't have to hit his stun. Oh shit, Thor having almost no HP, using his hammer to get out of there. Cupid getting taken out in the lane. I could have told you that was going to happen. Aphrodite getting taken out as well. She was just a little bit too far out. She doesn't have the escapes that Thor has. Thor very good at getting away, so to say. A lot of people are very mad at Thor for having such escapes. That looked like that hit him, but it didn't kill him. Ra seeing blood in the water, wanting himself some Poseidon butt, and he gets it. He got that butt, and there's nothing I can do to change that. In the meantime, split pushing the right-hand lane here. Ares, he's really trying to kill this tower. But he's not gonna kill the tower. The tower has at least 4 hits left in it from a tank, 2 hits from a DPS, 5 hits from this shitty-ass Cupid. And my frames just went to shit. I don't even know why. They're fighting to kill this Sobek. And they're going to maybe get him. Unless he gets away. Oh, he's not getting away. Ra ultimate. Coming off cooldown really quickly. Oh, he has those boots of celerity. That's why. This is a scary Ra. Blue team going for the fire giant. Because you know what? Fuck it. Might as well really seal the deal at this point. And go for that fire giant buff. The ultimate red buff. The red buff to end all red buffs. Ares going, no! Don't do it! Using his ultimate to distract them from attacking the fire giant. It's working. It's gonna be hard for them to fight him and the fire giant, but it turns out I was wrong because they creamed him. And Ymir says, no more interruptions. This is our fire giant and we're gonna take it. Excellent dodge there, just because once again this Cupid doesn't know how to place his ult very well. Thor going, Kali, you're next. But Kali going, Thor, I'm leaving. Fuck you. And so she leaves. Ymir trying to get his stun in, but he gets creep blocked at the last second. That could have been huge. Here comes Poseidon. Poseidon probably threatening to use his ult at some point, but not going to happen against this team. They have too much CC, and he doesn't have anything but beads. He's finally... Look at how far in he went to get the Spear of the Mages. Should have gotten this instead of this. You should really sell this and get something with better damage. I understand that having a slow is nice, but really. Isn't that what the rest of the CC on your team is for? Ares has a slow. If he finished that, if he had a finished Spear of the Magus, oh, I don't even want to think about the amount of damage he'd be doing. Poseidon lining up his ult. Oh, he got them all! Very efficient. Look at that. See that? That's the difference. That's the fucking difference. Everybody dead except for the Honor. That's what the difference of using your ults efficiently. They hit as many people as they could with every ult that they had and every skill that had AoE, and they absolutely destroyed the blue team. The blue team just got burst down. They got melted. They got erupted. They got exploded. They got eradicated. They got immolated. They got stomped by the red team. And that's why they're still dangerous. Even though the red team is behind in kills, they're still ahead by 3,000 gold at this point. That's pretty good. That's a good lead, but not enough for me to feel like they have an advantage. But their advantage does not lie in their gold or kills or towers or anything like that. They're even in pretty much everything except for kills. But their team comp. Oh, buddy, their team comp. Oh, I hate it. They have such a strong team comp. They did not do anything to stop this team comp from happening. And I'll tell you, their team fight is absolutely terrifying. If you try to fight them all and your team gets caught or initiated on, and you all get grouped together by the Ares or something, oh, forget it. Forget it, you're dead. I'm talking super dead. I'm talking mega dead. I'm talking as dead as this Gold Fury right here. Getting attacked by both the Cupid and the Kali. That Gold Fury will be down before you know it. And there it is. In the meantime, underneath the turret, looks like Sobek is going to take out that turret. Middle turret going down. Sobek pulling somebody and killing them because of the Poseidon ult. Poseidon getting ulted by the Honor and then killed by the Honor, thanks to the nice wall by the Ymir. Ymir's wall, probably one of his best skills in my mind. A lot of people disagree because they don't like that it doesn't do damage, but to be honest, late game, you're not going to be doing much damage without your ult anyway, and the best thing you can do is throw up some really good walls. And his wall lasts an eternity in this game, so you can really use that to your advantage. In the meantime, Thor dying up here. I mean, 3v2, you're going to die. It's just that simple. Thor just doesn't have enough tankiness to fight it. Like this Aphrodite, for example, who is kicking this guy's butt. She's really kicking this Ares' butt. It looks like at some point he used his ult, but either way, he doesn't have it now, so Ares can't really do much against Aphrodite without his ult. And Ymir might have come in from behind if the Ares stayed, but he decided, nah, I'm gonna get out. Not feeling these fights, guys. I'm gonna stay back here for a bit. Get the overview of the map. I was in a charity stream recently with Wafflin' and Nexus Bliss. They did a charity for getting people clean water in third world countries and whatnot. And I donated $55. I believe that was the highest donation number that they got, which was good. I think they raised about $200 to $300 out of their 1,000. It obviously wasn't their goal, but not a lot of people were donating that stream. If you don't follow me on Twitter, Twitter is where you will find links to those things. They did get a lot more famous people, like way more famous than me, to tweet them out. It was really a shame that nobody with the intentions of donating showed up. But there are plenty of people with the intentions of watching or begging to get into games, which is, to my way of thinking, is despicable, but whatever. It's just a charity stream. At least they showed up to show their support. Whatever. I would rather that they had donated, because that's how charities work. And they stayed up 24 hours for just $300 towards their cause. I mean, it's probably a little bit disgruntled afterwards. They were a little bit disgruntled afterwards, but whatever. Poseidon using his ult. against one person again. So now the blue team has the red team right where they want them. As soon as that Poseidon ult went off and didn't hit everybody, it was over. And now the red team is all split up. They're going to get taken out one by one if they're not careful. Except for these two who will be taken out two by two. Good ult by the Ares, but a little too late. Not afraid to say. Ares trying to keep himself alive. Kali trying to be a janitor and clean up. But it doesn't look like anyone's going to be getting what they want except for the blue team, who will be taking this fight pretty hard. Somehow Ra died in the middle of that at some point. Looks like Thor is going to be taken out. Thor gets taken out by all that damage from Ares. Sobek doing as much damage as he can. And now Ares, who has no real escape, so to say, but plenty of defenses because of his 2 and his build, of course. Ares going pretty tanky this game. He went almost full tank. The difference, of course, being his boots are why he's not full tank. If he had tank boots, he would be absolute tank, like the Amir is on the enemy team. At least the enemy team to the red team. So, nothing going on anymore. The fights are over. Blue team is pushing the lane. We're running out of time in this game. As I have said every single time I commentate these games, there is plenty of time for someone, for the red team to burst them down like they did like twice. To burst the entire team down. If they can do that one more time, they might win this. Because look how close it is. You've got a pretty good lead in gold for the red team, but they're behind on kills. However, they are ahead in towers. Look, they got those 2 towers that are still up. The blue team has no towers. They just got 3 phoenixes. And if one of those phoenixes goes down, you're fighting an uphill battle. And Ra isn't known for his uphill climbing. He has wings and the power of flight for a reason. Not a big fan of climbing. So an uphill battle is definitely to the advantage of the red team. This might be the fight. This might be one of the last team fights of the game we got here. There's enough time left for 2 of them, depending on when they start. But look at this. They're definitely looking at each other, sizing each other up, waiting for an initiation, probably waiting for the red team to split apart, which they do. Kali, not with her team right now, probably going to get caught if she's not careful. They're still sticking together on the blue team. Blue team running around as a cohesive unit except for these 2 over here. That's going to be a problem for the blue team. If the red team comes out and catches them, they are in big trouble. 3v5 is pretty difficult to win. And Ra giving away their position at this point with his abilities. Now the red team is starting to surround. They're pushing up mid lane at the same time to put some pressure at the same time as their split push in right lane from Cupid. However, it's 4v4. Actually, it's 4v5. As far as I'm concerned, numbers game is pretty big, especially with Sobek this far away from his team. It's 3v4 if they're not careful. And now it's going to be 3v5 and 4v5. And now it's no v no because they're not fighting. Okay. Cupid getting contested in right-hand lane by the Honor. And it looks like Cupid is going to be taken out. It's only a matter of time. I'll head over here and look. Wait, he dashed away. Probably used his ult to secure his escape. Uh-oh, blue team is getting a little scrambled, but not as scrambled as the red team. The red team are very spread out right now. But they might go after Fire Giant. Might force a fight of Fire Giant. Oh, they're very strong in Fire Giant area, though. I wouldn't want to fight them in Fire Giant if I was the blue team. I wouldn't want to fight this red team in the jungle. I really, really, really wouldn't want to do that. I'd push a lane or something. Which just so happens to be going on in the left-hand lane. Right-hand lane getting pushed out by the red minions, but blue minions are probably going to push out that lane because, as you can see in this corner here, you've got the minions double stacking for the blue team, which will be lovely. So that's always good. Depending on when the red team minions get over there. Still pushing lanes. Looks like the red team is going after the Gold Fury. Blue team is biding their time wisely. That's a very wise decision on their part. They could go for the Fire Giant buff. Uh-oh, Ra getting a little too close for comfort in my eyes, but he doesn't go in. He uses a ward. Good on him. Good on him. Decides to let the ward take the brunt of their fury. Kali getting pushed out of the area instead of trapped in, which could be all the difference. Oh, it's getting so exciting. We're down to the last 4 minutes of the game. There's still not a team fight though. I'm getting so excited. There's gonna be a team fight and it's gonna decide the game. They really wanna get this guy all buffed up all day. He's really buffed up all day. All this Poseidon needed was to sell his Gem of Isolation or his Bancroft's Talon and get a Fatalis or a Demonic Grip or anything. Anything. Cupid getting caught out, but he's caught up in level. Everybody's level 20 except for the blue Ymir, who is a little bit behind, but he hasn't been last hitting. So that'll be what happens. You get a little bit behind. Looks like there's an initiation here. Everyone's pretty close together. They're all jumping around, but oh, Poseidon's ult. It hit a few people, but it didn't kill anybody. Looks like Ra is about to get killed by the red team. Oh no. Oh, blue team. Blue team, did you just lose? Did you just lose this game, blue team? Oh, that could have been it, folks. I think the blue team just lost. They just lost a pretty big team fight. Good ults from the red team there. Their ults synergize so well. Such a powerful team comp. But wait! In mid lane, Poseidon might be throwing right now. In a big way, but no, he doesn't die. He doesn't die. Lives to fight another day. They aren't gonna be a man down. What are they doing at this Fire Giant? I'll tell you what they're doing at this Fire Giant. They're killing it. At the same time as the blue team coming in here. Will we see a Thor ult? No, not in time. Fire Giant goes down. Thor just trying to get in range. Maybe if he jumped in and then ulted immediately, they wouldn't be able to stop him, and there wasn't enough damage there. He could have jumped right in there and probably killed all three of them. Based on how much HP was left on that Fire Giant, because then they would have to turn their focus, and maybe he would even steal it. And if he were to steal the Fire Giant, that would be pretty pivotal. But now the red team looking good. Looking good. Now they're really far ahead down. They're 10,000 gold ahead. Over 10,000 gold ahead. Excuse me. That is a huge lead. Huge lead. That's gonna be almost game deciding if the blue team cannot recover with their farm. I'm seeing a lot of numbers in the 10,000s on both sides, but that's a lot of gold on the red team right now. Big lead. They're still ahead in turrets. Their two turrets that they have left have not been touched, but now we're on the last, this is the last minute. Somewhere in this minute, there's going to be a game-deciding fight. And I think it's going to happen in this lane. But we'll soon find out. Thor running in with his support. Aphrodite. Aphrodite waiting her turn. Waiting. Everybody's waiting. Poseidon says, screw your waiting. It's time to die. Aphrodite using her ult way too early. That's not going to be fun. Blue team, oh no. Blue team's Aphrodite made a big boo-boo. Sobek taking out the enemy Ra, and now Aphrodite getting absolutely burst down like you wouldn't believe. Poseidon ult proving to be too strong for the Thor. There goes Ymir. And the blue team has 4v5'd and lost. And by 4v5, I mean, yep, 4v5. And Honor, you made a big boo-boo. You should have been there. I understand how split pushing can work sometimes, but when it five of them pushing in, and they kill your team almost immediately, maybe it's time to press the B button. But at that point, it's too late. It's too late to go back. It's over. You lost the game. There's a time to know when it's done. And that was the time when it was done. The only person I see on the blue team that got fully built was the Honor, and he was the most farmed, as you can see, with almost 20,000 gold to his name. Poseidon on the red team, keeping himself very well fed. He had an elixir of power, which increases your damage in both a physical and magical way. And Cupid, although he came in a little late, proved to be okay. He died as much as Sobek, but Sobek was making dumb decisions too, so... The good news for Sobek is, though, he got 26 assists. So Sobek, overall, did a lot better than Cupid. But Cupid, for someone who was in a little late, who was fighting an uphill battle until they all got to level 20, he did alright. Respect. He did okay. He went carry, but he didn't carry. Should have went a little bit more tanky, but... That's alright. He had some extra health through his Quinn's Blades. His Quinn Blades in this game are like the Mage Red's Razor, where you get some extra damage based on a percentage of the target's maximum health. But it only works on gods, it doesn't work on minions. Ares almost getting his Rod of Tahuti. If he finished that, would have been pretty different how he was affecting the game, but still, he was strong, he didn't die too much, which was good. Kali keeping herself alive, but she wasn't really in a lot of fights, to be honest. But she got plenty of kills. She got 11 kills, so her work was done through the game. Blue team, Thor and Honor tried to carry, couldn't quite carry hard enough. I see 2 Magi's Blessing, which is this game's version of Banshee's Veil here. Very lovely against most teams, especially against this team who has an Ares that'll try to ult and that'll block his ult. A Sobek who'll try to pull and that'll block his pull. A Poseidon that'll try to poke and that'll block his poke. It's a good item. I see a lot of beads. I see a lot of Aegises. This though, this meditation. Don't get meditation. Don't get it. Unless you are winning 10 minutes into the game, don't even bother. Because at the late game, in the late game, what are you going to do? You have your Aegis and then what? Then you got nothing. What's meditation going to give you when all your abilities are on cooldown? You don't have sprint as a secondary escape. You don't have beads as a way to pop them so that you can't get CC'd. You don't have a girdle so you can try to turn it around and maybe burst them down before they can kill you. You don't have anything. All you have is mana. What's mana going to do when you have all your shit on cooldown? It's a dumb idea. Go to bed.